The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Hello, I'm Camila Guare with Tuesday's news.
In this edition, Pacific Police Bands unite, coffee farmers supported, and foul play reduced.
The 2025 Pacific Police Band Tattoo ended successfully at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium in the nation's capital today. 9 Pacific Island countries, including PNG, took part in this significant event hosted by the Royal PNG Constabulary to commemorate PNG's 50th independence.
The crowd cheered as police bands from 9 Pacific Island countries, including Papua New Guinea, beat their drums and danced in time to the beat, demonstrating their unique styles as they performed to commemorate PNG's 50th independence under the 2025 Pacific Police Tattoo Initiative. The 2025 Pacific Police Tattoo is a first-of-its-kind event hosted here at the Sir Hubert Murray Stadium. Port Moresby residents and other Pacific Islanders gathered here to commemorate this significant event hosted by the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary. Dignitaries who attended the event included police commissioners of the 9 Pacific Island countries, Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, and other executives. Shortly after their performances, awards were presented to the police bands. Drill Display Award was presented to the RPNGC Police Band. Fan Favorite was presented to the Samoa Police Band. Spirit of Tattoo was presented to the Fiji Police Band, and the overall performance was presented to the Tonga Police Band. Deputy PM Rosso said the band performance binds us as a Pacific Island community through discipline, culture, and shared purpose, connected through shared values and a commitment to peace and security.
To the chiefs of police from across the Pacific, thank you for your support and for championing this inaugural tattoo. Your presence and participation send a strong and clear message that together we're united, together we are stronger. Cooperation is a key to resilience, progress, and a safer Pacific for all our people.
Russell thanked the Pacific Island countries for joining PNG to celebrate the country's 50th anniversary. In sharing similar sentiments, Police Commissioner David Manning said the support of other Pacific Island countries through this event shows the strength of our Pacific policing family, our shared history, and our shared future in safeguarding our people in the security sector.
It sends a powerful message, not only of solidarity, but of mutual respect, cooperation, and a commitment to collectively serving our communities with pride and discipline.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
4 pioneer police officers who have been performing with the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary Police Band were recognized for their contributions during the 2025 Pacific Police Band Tattoo. They are Sergeant John Api, Inspector Lucas Nege, who is the director of the band, Inspector Alu Kappa, and Chief Sergeant Richard Gay. Most of them joined the band in 1980, a commitment they still maintain today.
First of its kind, first experience on our own soil. So we are really proud.
I could see our families from all policemen in the city, and also other families who are representing from the other countries in the Pacific are also here to support the Pacific police band. And we're really proud about to say the place was almost been covered.
As far as the UK in 1986, and we participated in the Royal Tournament in Elscott, United Kingdom. And then we also participated in South Australia for the Adelaide Tattoo. And then that is the third one that we, that's the inaugural one that we hosted here in our country. And yeah, we are proud. And then we have the last 4 surviving that we traveled to the UK and down to South Australia and any other countries that we participated.
Papua New Guinea annually commemorates Remembrance Day on the 23rd of July, remembering the courage, sacrifice, and contribution of Papua New Guineans and Allied forces during World War I, particularly in the Battle of the Kokoda Track and other significant campaigns on PNG soil. Tomorrow, as tradition leads, dawn services will be held across the country, including Port Moresby, Midday, Lae, and Wewak.
Every year, on July 23rd, Papua New Guinea honors the bravery and sacrifice of its people and Allied forces during World War II. This day marks the end of intense fighting in PNG, especially during the Kokoda Track campaign, where Papua New Guineans played a crucial role alongside Australian soldiers to defend their land from Japanese invasion. Remembrance Day is a solemn occasion to remember those who fought and gave their lives for peace and freedom. Ceremonies across the country include wreath laying, moments of silence, and reflections to ensure that the courage and sacrifices of past generations are never forgotten. For the PNGDF, July 23rd commemorates the day the Papuan Barefoot soldiers fired their first shot in 1942. This significant memorial event has grown over the years to not only observe the sacrifices of the men who served their country alongside the Allied forces during World War II. Moreover, has taken on new meaning to remember those who have come to serve after, countless others who also paid the ultimate price with their lives. So tomorrow, if there is a dawn service hosted in your area, join in the commemoration services to honor our forefathers who, in a time of need, took up arms in the call of defense and fought off the invading Japanese alongside our allies. More so, this day calls for Papua New Guineans from all walks of life to remember all the members of not just the PNGDF, but the country's disciplined forces altogether, who served and lost their lives in Bougainville and other various deployments at the borders and within the country.
As the country commemorates Remembrance Day tomorrow, 23rd July, parents, teachers, and JICA PNG office will welcome home students from Sogari Primary School who visited Japan to participate in 2025 Osaka Kansai Expo. This transformative journey also had the students visit 2 elementary schools in Japan for cultural exchange and experience. The 10-day trip was conducted from the 13th to the 22nd of July 2025. It was organized and funded by the Expo International Exchange Program associated with the 2025 Osaka Kansai Expo, which aims to foster continuous international exchange between local residents and participants from Expo countries. Sogari and Kamikita primary schools have built their relationship via online exchange classes over the past year, and the visit by the Sogari students marked the first time the students met their Japanese peers in person. turning virtual friendships into real-world connections. The trip was organized by Uchi Yamashota, a JICA volunteer who has served as a teacher at the Sogri Primary School. Prime Minister James Marape has appealed to the nation's youth and citizens to exercise self-control and responsible behavior. His remarks come in light of recent incidents that have raised concerns about public order and the impact of unruly behavior on communities and the country's image.
Prime Minister James Marape has lamented how such actions by the youth after the independence event celebration last weekend in Port Moresby could have far-reaching consequences, spilling over and affecting city residents, and of course the continued taint of national image. The Prime Minister emphasized the importance of maintaining peace and order, particularly as the nation prepares for upcoming events and elections. He called on young people to be role models in their communities and to channel their energy into positive endeavors that contribute to the nation's growth and development. The Prime Minister also expressed the confidence in the youth of the country and urged them to foster a peaceful and prosperous nation for all. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. Among stories after the break, update on Motu Koit accounting and demand bill excited over airstrip.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaru, get up a big smile on face. Time cook him chicken, a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open nets.
PNG's favorite soft drink now in bottles. Goldspot brings you fresh, bold flavors in brand new 500ml bottles. Taste the rainbow. More freshness, more flavor, more fun. Lime, orange, raspberry, and pineapple. Proudly made in PNG. Proudly Goldspot.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever.
Yes!
From small dreams to big possibilities. The One-Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has extended his warm congratulations to the Liberal Democratic Party of Japan and its leader, Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, following their recent national election victory. Prime Minister Marape has traveled to Tokyo today for an official bilateral meeting with Prime Minister Ishiba. Marape said it is a great honor to be the first foreign leader given the privilege of being able to pay a courtesy visit and hold bilateral talks with Prime Minister Ishiba under his renewed mandate. Prime Minister Ishiba, widely respected for his diplomatic experience, has recommitted to building strong international partnerships, particularly in the Pacific region. The Motu Koita Assembly election is in the process of counting after polling concluded on Thursday, 17th of July, 2025. The Electoral Commission has indicated that almost all ward councillors have been declared, and counting briefings for the commencement of the MKA chairman and women's representative began today.
Counting of ballot papers for the Motu Koita Assembly elections began a day later after the one-day polling on Thursday, the 17th of July, 2025. Electoral Commission updated this news team stating that almost all ward councillors were counted in their respective wards. 13 wards have been declared out of the 14 wards. For Motu Koita West, Baroni, Gaudi Ray, Tatana Apau Udia, Araira Alenik, Elevala Mirigini Nauboge, Elevala Lahara yet to be declared, Elevala Larabada Andrew Frank, Poraporana Lahara Bari Tau, Poraporana Larabada Udagaba, Motu Koita East, Korobosi, Boni Kadigan, Mahuru Mal Udia, Kirakira Babani Heri, Vabukori Turahomoria, Paritawata Ovia Matayo, Paritarama Peter Raruanoka. The briefing for counting for MK chairman and women's representative commenced after lunch today, and counting should start tomorrow or this evening with Elevala Lahara councillor. Despite a few hiccups, declaration is anticipated before Friday the 25th of July for all ward councillors, women's representative and the new Motu Koita chairman. Jasmine Rojak, TVWAN News.
Once bypassed by every plane in the sky, the remote village of Dimanbil in Sandaun Province now welcomes Mission Aviation Fellowship flights on its own runway as a result of 40 years of determination, hope, and community effort. For nearly 4 decades, the people of Dimanbil held onto a dream of connection, of light breaking through isolation. With bush knives, sticks, and sheer determination, they worked to carve a runway from the dense jungle. In late 2023, that dream took flight when an aircraft, MAF, landed on the newly built airstrip for the first time. In 2025, MAF shared that the villagers are still enthusiastic about the sight of an MAF plane touching down in their village. Now, with MAF flights coming in, villagers emphasized that they can see a shortcut to healthcare, education, markets, and hope. Coffee has always been the lifeline of PNG's rural, inaccessible areas. Even with no government support, local farmers always find ways to move their coffee bags to ship to other parts of the country as well as overseas. The perseverance of the communities in Tep-Tep, in Midday, and Kabum, in Morobe, has paid off, with 1 million kina support being given to them through the Coffee Industry Corporation's PNG Commercialization and Diversification Project.
Tep-Tep in Medang's Raikos district is one of the province's least developed and forgotten coffee-growing community until a recent visit by the Coffee Industry Corporation. The atmosphere was one of jubilation and hope as locals with painted faces welcomed CIC's PNG Commercialization and Diversification Project team led by Project Manager Potaisa Hombunaka. Hombunaka was on ground to announce 1 million kina worth of support that will benefit 500 rural communities in the Tep-Tep and Kabum areas. These communities straddle the borders of Midday and Morobe.
Coffee emi come through the sal of Insafen. Now one time, talk from Big Pla, walk from Big Pla, we move one time coffee one time. Now me fair. Tam gaman ik some kind on loan or some. Now loan man bla bekim. Project me bla maskim no line only stop. Remote spot. Why? Because even without government support or without the project funding now you become no game. Coffee blong, Raikos, lo tap tap, coffee blo kaboom, coffee blo finsafen. No kan government support, no support him all. Still coffee, I mean, finding way blong even na wakawati ko kababla len, I mean, karim leg na kalablo ship na ikolobo si semi straight ha. Yes.
The tap tap area is extremely rugged, with the only effective mode of transport being by plane or chopper. Alfie Semi, from the PNG Commercialization and Diversification Project, detailed that they are focusing on tap tap due to the high cup profile of coffee there.
Coffee has been farmed for over 27 years as per the information we received from the people on the ground. Nothing of such project has come about in the last 27 years. This is the first of its kind, where we come project and come down here. We have taken a deliberate decision from our project manager to work with the remote coffee farmers in the remote areas, basically because of the cup profile it has in this part of the area. The coffee coming out from this part of the area has a very good high cup profile, can be marketable in the niche market, specialty market. So
the project is being carried out in partnership with the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program. TKCP has been helping farmers to produce coffee for specialty markets overseas. The 1 million kina assistance to the communities includes coffee curriculum for schools, farming equipment, and expert support.
And now a look at the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2417 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2342, $0.3563 Australian dollars, $0.1922 euro, and 34.18 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, and copper closed higher, coffee, palm oil, and crude oil closed lower, and copra closed the day unchanged. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues when we return. Stay with us.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG e Mia. Find PNG made.
Rohan, Rumi messing with your game. Time to sweep him out of the room.
Ding bang ding, ding ding bang, bam bam bang, ding bang ding, bam bam.
New Fabuloso multi-purpose cleaner with an irresistible fragrance that lasts all day long, creating a field of flowers in every corner of your home with an irresistible fragrance that lasts and lasts all day long. Fabuloso, irresistible fragrance.
Rugby League is a powerful force that unites Papua New Guinea and develops our youth. Through partnerships with the PNG LNG Kumals, Grassroots Rugby League and Justin Olam, we aim to instill skills to last a lifetime.
I'm community blue. When it's on you welcome, I'm become a community. You must all community.
When we invest in people, we invest in tomorrow's possibilities.
Oh, sensational! Send right back in! Oh! Make this moment last forever!
Toby Sexton dropped.
But this doesn't pull apart their greatest strength.
This is the future. This is the way they want to go.
Why was Harry Grant the right man to take over?
I just thought it was the right thing to do. Obviously, his best position we think is fullback.
Queensland have done the unthinkable.
It was unbelievable emotion, and good on Cameron. Very, very brave to get out there and play.
Thanks for staying with us. A nourishing breakfast and lunch can help children focus in class, reduce illness, and foster confident learning. Hygiene education is also part of the mix, as Book Belong Pikinini breaks new ground with awareness sessions for parents.
At a recent rollout program, Book Belong Pikinini is breaking new ground in community-based education, providing parents awareness sessions focused on nutrition. Parents are discovering that feeding children well doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. One parent from Motu Koita said fish is the daily protein, and they have learned new ways to prepare simple meals for children's brain development. A crowd favorite, the playful milk mustache moment highlights nutritional learning through laughter. Parents and children build lunch boxes together, layering food groups like rice, vegetables, tinned fish, eggs, and fresh fruit. Book Belong Pikinini's nutrition education team introduced affordable, locally sourced meal ideas, inviting families to redefine what healthy foods like in their own homes. During the peak of each session, interactive questions were asked and hands-on activities for practical cooking and selection of nutritious food were learned. The initiative, now held every Friday across all Book Belong Pikinini Library Learning Centers, is receiving enthusiastic feedback for its engaging, culturally relevant approach to improving children's health and academic outcomes. Book Belong Pikinini acknowledges partners, Trukai Industries, Sanitarium, and many others for making this session possible now that parents are gaining the tools to help their children thrive in both health and education. Joanna Violet, TVWAN News.
Within a week, a lot has happened to one of the biggest names in PNG Rugby League, Wapu Song, who was relieved from his role as board director of the new PNG NRL franchise. Song denies allegations of corruption labelled against him and said he will allow internal investigations to continue.
Sidelined PNG National Rugby League Board Director Wapu Song denies corruption allegations levelled against him through the report in Australian media that Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited, under his leadership, is entertaining Chinese interests. Song responded yesterday that the allegations against him are not true. He said in the interview that it is defamatory and he is allowing internal investigations into the matter. Song told the Courier Mail, "Incorrect and defamatory allegations made against me in the Australian media. These claims are based on false information
and the matter is being investigated internally within KPHL and will be referred to the police for investigation. This newsroom reached out to PNG National Rugby League franchise CEO Andrew Hill to comment on whether the board has decided on an interim director, but attempts were unsuccessful. Australian press, the Sydney Morning Herald, last week alleged that Sonk was involved in corrupt dealings with China, which questions his credibility as a director in the new PNG NRL board. Following this report, Sonk was sidelined from his role in the PNG NRL franchise. This was confirmed by Prime Minister James Marape in a press release Friday 17th July. Sonk was also sidelined from his role as Managing Director of Kumul Petroleum Holdings Limited. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
The opposition is calling for an immediate commission of inquiry into the recent sale of Motor Vehicle Insurance Limited shares in BSP Financial Group Limited to the Mineral Resources Development Company. Member for Sinisine Yongomul and senior opposition MP Kerenga Kwa made this call today.
Member for Sinisine Yongomul and senior member of the opposition Kerenga Kwa has accused the government of acting unlawfully by selling assets it does not beneficially own and called for an immediate freeze on the proceeds of the sale pending a full investigation. He says the state has been illegally receiving dividends from MVIL for years, despite not being a rightful shareholder. According to Kua, the proper legal beneficiaries of MVIL's earnings and assets are motor vehicle owners, past and present. He further demanded that the proceeds from the MVIL BSP shares sale be immediately placed in an escrow account and not used to fund any government projects. He is calling on BSP or any bank holding these funds to freeze the accounts where the proceeds have been deposited. He said continued transactions on these funds could amount to money laundering, especially now that the legality of the sale has been publicly challenged. Kua emphasized that all financial institutions are now on notice and that any further movement of funds could result in legal consequences. The opposition has reiterated its stance that a full commission of inquiry under the Commission of Inquiry Act is the appropriate course of action to ensure transparency and accountability. Freddie Moe, TV1 News.
Turning abroad, the joint United Nations program on HIV/AIDS has warned that Fiji's exploding epidemic of human immunodeficiency virus, or HIV, can put the entire Pacific region at risk as it sought to muster international support for the South Pacific countries' effort to curb the outbreak. The UNAIDS Asia Pacific, Eastern Europe and Central Asia reports that Fiji has the fastest growing epidemic. The UNAIDS report, titled 2025 Global AIDS Update, AIDS Crisis and the Power to Transform, was presented in a forum held in Bangkok, Thailand. The UN said the rapid increase in new HIV cases in recent years prompted the Fijian government to declare a HIV outbreak in January 2025. There's concern that some First Nations members of the stolen generations will miss out on the state government's redress scheme. Western Australia recently announced plans for compensation for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders who were forcibly removed from their families, but some members will be ruled out due to the eligibility criteria.
On the steps of Parliament House in May, WA's Premier announced a redress scheme, initially met with applause from those who'd spent decades fighting for reparations.
A payment of $85,000 will be made available to Aboriginal children who were removed from their families in Western Australia up until the 1st of July 1972.
But that cut-off date means some members of the stolen generations would be ineligible. Sisters Meredith Edmonds and Angela Ryder were taken from their family in Tambalop to Roland's Mission in 1973.
And there was cruelty as well. It was not only traumatic, but there was physical, emotional and sexual abuse that occurred. I know that you've got to draw a line in the sand somewhere, but to hear that date, how does that address our trauma?
The state government saying the cut-off was chosen to coincide with the repeal of the 1973 Native Welfare Act.
The Healing Foundation, which supports survivors and their families, says it takes time for shifts in practice to follow changes in legislation and pointed to more flexible timeframes in other states and territories.
Meanwhile, children of survivors who died waiting for redress want compensation paid to the families.
It's putting a Band-Aid over the wounds of some without looking at all of us, the trauma that continues in each of us, and just us not knowing our language and not knowing the extended relationships.
The scheme is expected to be open to registrations later this year.
Australia has joined the United Kingdom, France and other countries in demanding an immediate end to the war in Gaza and for Israel to lift aid restrictions. The 28 countries are urging other members of the international community to unite in a common effort to bring this terrible conflict to an end. The joint statement, signed by Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong, comes amid growing international concern over the number of deaths at aid sites. It criticizes what it calls the inhumane killing of Palestinians and condemns the drip feeding of aid. The majority of people killed in recent weeks have been in the vicinity of Gaza Humanitarian Foundation sites. The Northern Territory government is pushing ahead with plans to phase out middle schools, converting all urban government schools into secondary schools by 2028. It's part of an overhaul of the NT's education system, dismantling the previous Labor government's creation of middle schools in 2006.
For Northern Territory students graduating from Year 6, it'll be goodbye to middle schools and straight into high school.
It's going to be good because I get to stay with my friends until I'm in Year 12 instead of moving schools.
I feel pretty good because I get to spread my social footprint because I get to talk to a lot more older students than I would if it was a middle school.
Under the NT government's plan, middle schools in Darwin and Palmerston will begin accepting students from years 10, 11 and 12 starting from 2026. And in Alice Springs, Centralian Middle School will become a high school from 2027. The move is designed to keep kids in school for longer.
Because there was that key transition point from Year 9 to Year 10 that we were starting to lose students.
The pros and cons of middle school up for debate.
It really depends on who you are. If you love school, then it's get to do more school. But if you don't, then it's easier to just not pursue it anymore. Yeah.
The NT's Education Union says the outdated model is not fit for purpose and it supports a move away from middle schools. But a key question remains unanswered. How will teachers manage the increased workload associated with the transition when they're already feeling overworked and undervalued?
We still have the same amount of students, so we still need the same amount of teachers. And in actual fact, on any given week, the department is recruiting for teachers right across the territory.
The Northern Territory is in fact the only jurisdiction that has standalone middle schools, so we are now in line with the rest of the nation.
Change on the way for NT students, with many saying it's long overdue.
This is TV1 News. Next in sports, reduction in foul play and Anato wins New Britain Open.
Brush to the beat with Colgate for healthy teeth. Brush twice a day for 2 minutes, that's all you need. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth. 2 minutes of brushing twice a day, bright smiles, bright futures with Colgate. Brush to the Colgate beat. Come on now everybody, join in on the fun for long-lasting healthy teeth.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Sabe tu awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use condom long right way. Stop safe na lookout him yet. Use condom all get a time. Suppose you know save long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok save ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Defence are so good these days, you need something to break them over.
Yep, blokes at a time, swinging from edge to edge. It's so coordinated. A lot of times the outside back's getting into the middle because with the fast rucks, as you said, that's where the space is.
If you go back and look, he actually changes speed, and that's the reason why he scores and sets one up.
Jackson Purdue, Xavier Willison, Lehigh Hopewadi. It just goes, I've never...
Anything else? Anyone else?
I was in a frenzy.
In a world where ambition rules, meet Secretary Kim, the woman flawlessly running Vice President Brandon Castillo's day.
My resignation letter.
Secretary Kim!
Sorry.
As he fights to keep her, they begin to uncover more than sparks.
What's wrong with Secretary Kim?
Season premieres Monday, 28 July at 9 p.m. on TVWAN+.
Welcome back. The implementation of a zero-tolerance policy on ill discipline in Rugby League has proven to be beneficial, particularly at the elite national level, the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup. Pathways and Development at PNG RFL, the Papua New Guinea National Rugby League competition, have established a robust match review committee that has significantly reduced violence and foul play over the last 2 years.
By us.
PNG RFL Head of Pathways and Development, Tony Archer, emphasized that there has been a notable decrease in lifting tackles and instances of striking, such as punches and related confrontations, over the past 18 months. He reaffirmed the commitment to maintaining a stringent stance against foul play.
We've got a robust match review process. We're really confident in how it's worked, and it's worked for the last 2 years. And you've all been aware of the significant impact that we've had on cleaning up foul play. There's been great improvements in the area when you watch the games back. There's been significant drops in lifting tackles over the last 18 months. Striking when I arrived here last year was high. It had dropped. Yes, there's a number of striking charges relating to punching for this incident, obviously, but there's been a significant drop in that. We've seen a reduction in the melees where players are coming together. We continue to have a robust approach and a strong approach to foul play, and we won't move away from it.
Referring to the recent incident involving players and officials from the Mandi Muruks and Goroka-Lahanis, Archer reiterated that such event is assessed based on its own unique circumstances.
We've dealt with this incident on what happened on Sunday. That's how we process our matters. We've got a really strong judiciary code. We've got a code of conduct that all of our players, staff and clubs need to be adhered to, part of their participation agreement, and they're the areas that we looked at. We judge every matter on its merits, and that's what we've done with this one.
However, he highlighted the strong actions taken against clubs and players involved in the recent incident in Lae, which indicates that the PNG NRLC has an effective judiciary system that enforces standards of conduct of players and officials both on and off the field as part of their participation agreements. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
The PNG Hunters have jumped up the QRL Host Plus ladder by 2 places from 10th to 8th spot after their close win over 6th place Ipswich Jets 28-22 last weekend in Port Moresby. After round 18, the Hunters now sit on 8th place on 20 points. Jets' loss to the Hunters does not affect their standing as of round 18. This is how the points ladder stands. The top 8 standing are: Townsville Blackhawks are ahead on 30 points. Wynnum Manly Seagulls is second and share 28 points with North Devils. Bears on 4th place with 27 points. On 5th, 6th and 7th place are Dolphins, Jets and Falcons, with Hunters ending the top 8. As round 19 kicks off on Saturday, July 26th, the Hunters take a free 2-pointer and are on bye. Hunters have 4 more rounds to prove their worth and make the finals. The Host Plus Cup ends regular competition as of round 23 on Sunday, August 31st, with the finals to proceed in September. After 2 electrifying weekends that saw the corporate volleyball courts ablaze with passion and precision, the POM Corporate Volleyball Competition Season 6 2025 quarterfinals concluded on Sunday. The do-or-die round saw the top 8 teams battle fiercely, with the victors advancing to the semi-finals while the losers bowed out of the season.
The hit-up matches of the knockouts were in the Premier Division, with top teams battling out at the Tauranga Aquatic Centre on the weekend. The men's Premier Division delivered a mix of dominance and thrilling surprises. Top seeds Westpac and NCDC dispatched their opponents in straight sets. Westpac made quick work on Brian Bell with a commanding 25-14, 25-20 victory, while NCDC dominated TSC, winning 25-7, 25-18. Their clinical performances send a clear message to the rest of the field. POMGen pulled off a shocker, knocking out formidable NWTL1 in a tense 3-set battle. This gritty performance from POMGen proves they are a force to be reckoned with. Customs also delivered a notable upset, edging out CPL1 in a tight 2-set encounter. The Premier Women's quarterfinals were a testament to resilience and fierce competition. Top-seeded Kina Bank showed its championship onslaught by overcoming IRC1 in a hard-fought battle, winning 25-15, 26-28, and 15-7. NCDC battled back from a set down to defeat a determined Customs 3-0. In the other match, BSP secured their semi-final spot with a straight sets victory over Dentons. The quarterfinals sets the stage for an epic semi-final weekend. The structure ensures that the top seeds, if they advance, will face tough challenges. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
Papua New Guinea's top golfer, Morgan Anator, has once again proven why he's the nation's #1, claiming victory at the 2025 New Britain Open held at the Ralum Country Club in Kokopo, East New Britain, last weekend.
Fresh off his win from the East New Britain Open 2 weeks ago, Morgan backed it up in emphatic fashion, leading from the front and holding the 36-hole lead all the way through. He closed up the tournament with a solid final round to win by 3 shots over crowd favourite Winston Yakapus, despite fierce pressure from both Winston and a visiting professional golfer from Brisbane. Morgan's performances was headlined by support from Number One Super Savings and Loan Society, with co-sponsored from JRA Limited and Oasis Pharmaceutical Limited, spearheaded by Managing Director Jacob Anga. Last Saturday night's auction added fireworks to the event. In a thrilling display of passion and competition, co-sponsor Anga successfully outbid a raucous Kokopo crowd, purchasing Morgan for 5,000 kina and Winston for 4,000 kina, a bold show of confidence that paid off. The tournament wasn't just a showcase of skills, but also of mental resilience and fortitude, with Morgan holding his nerve as Winston and Wayne threatened to close the gap. Organizers praised NSLS, JRA and Oasis Pharmaceutical for delivering a landmark example of corporate support for PNG golfers. Their investment is being hailed as a blueprint for future sponsorships in the sport, setting a new benchmark for backing local talents. Eyes now turn to the PNG Open in August, where Anato will look to continue his brilliant form on home soil. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
Kevin Walters is set to be confirmed as the coach of the Australian Men's Rugby League team this week. Kangaroos captain Isa Yeo said he has spoken to some of Walters' old charges at the Broncos, who praised the ousted Walters. The first game of the Ashes tour of the UK is on October 25th.
Here's a little grubber. Kangaroos captain Isa Yeo has endorsed Kevin Walters as Australia's next coach, with the Kangaroos captain labelling the Brisbane legend a man people want to play for. Walters is expected to be announced as Mal Meninga's successor this week, with the Australian Rugby League Commission finalising plans to unveil him ahead of this year's Ashes. It comes after Meninga was forced to step down upon taking on the Perth Bears job last month, and the Australian Rugby League Commission ruled out having a club coach in charge. Walters' appointment will mark his return to coaching after being axed by Brisbane at the end of 2024. He previously led Queensland to 4 State of Origin series from 2016 to 2019, winning 2. Walters' appointment will give him just 3 months to prepare for the Ashes, with the first test against England at Wembley Stadium on October 25th. That short lead-up was part of former New South Wales coach Brad Fittler's reasoning to withdraw from the race. Walters' appointment comes after Cameron Smith also put his hand up for the job, while the Australian Rugby League Commission's no-club job approach ruled out Wayne Bennett. Rex Litter, TV1 Sports.
West Tigers announced that co-captain Api Koroisau has resigned with the club until the end of the 2028 season. A 3-time premiership winner and New South Wales State of Origin representative, Koroisau's 2-year extension reflects the impact he has had on West Tigers since arriving ahead of the 2023 season.
Hey Tigers fans, just happy to announce that I've extended with the club for another couple of years. Just want to say thank you so much for the support. Love you guys, love this place. Let's get it. Claws out.
The Fijian international was named NRL captain before his debut campaign with the West Tigers and has consistently displayed outstanding leadership qualities both on and off the field. Koroisau played 227 NRL games, including 52 for the West Tigers. Tigers head coach Benji Marshall is full of praise for Koroisau's leadership and commitment to the group. A massive boost. Koroisau has committed until the end of 2028, resisting the urge to hit the open market on November and remaining part of Benji Marshall's squad. The 32-year-old would have likely been a marquee target for the Perth Bears ahead of their introduction to the competition, while a host of other clubs would have been lining up to attempt to lure the former New South Wales Blues hooker away from the West Tigers. Koroisau's extension comes after young gun Talin Da Silva was granted early release to sign with the Parramatta last month. Tigers officials took a calculated risk by letting Da Silva walk away early before Koroisau had formally resigned, but early concerns were allayed on Tuesday Marshall was pleased to get a deal done with a 3-time premiership winner. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Now, the weather forecast. In regional forecast, southern Port Moresby, partly cloudy with possible few showers and thunderstorms. Popondetta, cloudy periods with few rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Momase, Lae, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Wewak, partly cloudy with few rain showers. New Guinea Islands, Kavieng, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kokopo, Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka, partly cloudy with possible few showers. Highlands, all centers, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast for PNG areas for the next 24 hours. Coral Sea, seas moderate to rather rough with easterly to southeast winds of 15 to 25 knots with gust. Solomon Sea, seas smooth to slight with south to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas slight with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. And Pacific Ocean, seas slight with southerly to southwest winds of 5 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG, Indonesian border to Daru to Kiwai Island, Kerema, Yule Island, Port Moresby, Hood Point to Samarai Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And waters of Finschhafen through Vitiaz, Dampier Strait to Siasi Island to Long Island, seas 1 to 2 meters. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. From the news team, pleasant evening. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by